So the question was, soon I will start my first multiscale. What do you recommend? What angle should I use? Do you mean the angle of the fan of the frets, or do you mean the angle of the headstock? If you mean the angle of or the actual fan of the frets, I wouldn't do more than an inch of difference. So, for instance, if you have frets. Um, I guess the really max, now that I think about it, is I would go from like 25 and a half to 27. So that's an inch and a half. I wouldn't go anywhere more than that because then the fan already starts to be very drastic and it starts maybe feeling a little less comfortable to play. But 1 inch is probably the thing I'd go for personally. One of the things that really factors into that is it depends on what tuning you're looking at playing. Is it a 6 string? Is it a 7 string, 8 string, or more? And what tuning and what string gauge you're kind of looking at. Basically, if you have a 6 string, let's say that you're going to do some drop tune stuff, but you're probably not going to go anywhere like lower than C, like a drop C or something like that. I'd just say 25 and a half to 26 and a half, more than enough. Going like baritone or drop A, going 26 and a half to 27, more than enough. Fix the camera angle just a little bit because now there's so much space here. Six, drop C. All right. Um, yeah, basically. I'm really sorry. This is probably making a lot of noise right now. Um, Drop C, 6 string, multiscale. Depends. There's kind of the thing of like, what do you actually need for it to function with? Because the idea is that you have basically equal tension through the strings. Um, so even going with 25 and a half on the bass side could be enough. And you can do a very slight fan. So you could have like 24.75 on the treble side, which would then give you basically like Gibson to Strat kind of fan. Or maybe the 25 and a half to 26 and a half would actually not be too bad for you. Kind of depends. Of course, the longer the scale is on the bass side, that means the more tension that you'll actually have on that. Depending. God, I keep on going back and forth, but depending on the gauge of string that you have, if you have a fairly, let's see, if you have a short scale or shorter scale but thicker gauge, then it's going to be pretty floppy. So that will require that you have a longer scale length for it to be tensioned up properly. But if you have a longer scale length and you have a rather thin gauge, then you won't need that much, and it'll actually maybe be a bit too tense on a longer scale. Like personally, what I have on my guitars, or well, production models, I use the NYXL. What are they? 10s or 11s? I can't remember. But if I go to like a 56 for the lowest on a 6 string, 25 and a half feels pretty comfortable for me. But Yeah. But I'm used to like on my personal guitars, like I'm used to having like open A sharp or drop A and using 56 on that. And it's been pretty floppy, not that great. Oh, looky look. My laptop is refreshing the page.